what is the biggest problem with modern gaming? Most of you probably thought of something like generative AI or microtransactions or live service games. I mean, there are countless answers you could have given, and many of them are totally acceptable. Now, I want you to give me the dumbest possible answer you can think of. The most steaming hot pile of dog shit opinion you can give. The opinion we'll be covering in today's video is even dumber. I'm sure most people in the Marvel Rivals community already know what I'm talking about. It's a TikTok creator who goes by the handle Poppy Capone. Now, if that name isn't already familiar to you, then you are in for one hell of a ride. Poppy Capone, also known as Capone VO, went viral a couple weeks ago for sharing his opinion on women who play video games. And you know, I'm no stranger to hearing stupid shit on the internet, but I feel like it's pretty rare that we come across people who are both confident and stupid enough to say something like this on camera, unless they're a right-wing grifter, which is definitely the direction this guy is headed.
After the last loss in my ranked game, I'm gonna say something super controversial, I don't care. Agree, disagree, get angry, I don't care, go to hell.
This feels like a great opportunity to remind everyone that you really aren't forced to upload your opinion to the internet. Obviously, you can believe whatever you want, but when you post your thoughts online like this, you are inviting discourse. And it definitely doesn't help to start talking down to your audience before you've even given them a chance to hear you out. I mean, you immediately disregard every other opinion by saying you don't care what they think, but if that were true, you probably would have just kept this to yourself. It was your decision to post this to the internet where other people are obviously going to judge you for the things you say. Learn how to take some accountability.
Y'all want to know what genuinely has made the gaming experience worse? More and more women coming onto the game. Yes, I'm saying that. I'm making that known. I am saying that the more women who play video games are making video games worse. They are making the experience worse.
I want to say you're doing this for attention, but I'm afraid that would be giving you way too much credit. That doesn't mean I'm going to take your opinion seriously, but if you're telling us you're this stupid, yeah, I'm inclined to believe you. I mean, you're over 30 years old and you haven't learned how to coexist with women? This isn't some bug you can go online and ask game developers to fix for you. It is a deeply rooted character flaw, and the only real solution is therapy. How did you even convince yourself that the hundreds of thousands of women who play video games are the reason you can't enjoy them? That seems extremely unfair to all of the people who have never even played with you before.
Video games for the longest time was a primarily male-dominated hobby. That means that men are gonna act like men. They're gonna act like males because it's mainly been males. Just like if you go to a fucking sewing club, for example, that's a primarily female-dominated industry. So the women are going to talk amongst other women like they would talk with women. They're going to act like women.
Sure, video games and consoles were marketed toward young men for a long time, and that led to there being a larger male demographic. That doesn't mean you can treat gaming spaces like a boys' locker room. Women have always been a massive part of the industry, long before you were even a sperm cell. Nearly 50% of all people who play video games are women. They worked for years to develop games you love to play, and now you're going to sit here and tell me they don't belong in gaming spaces? I mean, give me a fucking break. Maybe you could try to make an argument like that for a game like Call of Duty, but Marvel Rivals released a year ago with a massive female audience. If playing video games with women is an issue for you, then maybe you should find something else to play, or better yet, get off the game. Men like you have been making these arguments repeatedly for well over a century. Men who didn't want women in men's workspaces. Men who didn't want women to go to college. Doesn't it ever get to a point where you stop and ask yourself, hey, what the fuck went wrong with me growing up?
Now, why do I believe that women coming into gaming is ruining gaming? Because they're acting like women and they expect men to act differently.
Hold on a minute. You just said men are going to act like men. But you have an issue when women act like women? And then you tell us that they expect you to act differently. But what the hell does that even mean? How do you act like a man or a woman on a video game? I mean, unless they're asking you to get your nails done or go shopping, chances are they don't have any issue with you acting like a man. Unless your idea of acting like a man online is really just being a piece of shit to women.
Now, why am I going on this whole rant? I just had a woman throw a game because me and everyone else on the team was asking her, how did you die in your Cloak and Dagger ult? They didn't have any ult counters. We weren't flaming. We were just genuinely curious because there's no way that she should have died. She took this as an attack, decided to go Adam Warlock, and then threw the game. I promptly also said, I shouldn't have said this, but I don't care. I also said, well, I mean, of course, I forgot. That's my apologies. I forgot that I have to talk to you like you're a woman and talk to you like you're a child.
So, someone threw your match and you decided to attack them for being a woman? Did I get that right? Just wanted to make sure, because if so, yeah, you're a piece of shit. I get it, the game's frustrating and it sucks when someone decides to give up, but that doesn't give you a right to talk to them like that. I know you'd probably take it laying down, but if someone decided to go after me for being trans because they were upset with my performance on a video game, yeah, dude, I'd be pissed and I'd probably throw too. Now, for whatever reason, this seems to be happening to you a lot more than it happens to anyone else, which leads me to believe that women probably aren't the issue. I know, shocker, right? Just because if these women are playing the game and they're playing with other people, then why are you the only one complaining? You are the only common denominator. The one consistent factor in every match you lose is you. You have to imagine that if all these women are throwing your matches and the men aren't, the issue is probably in the way you treat women.
And then she proceeded to throw harder, whatever the hell that means. And now, agree or disagree if you want. Women don't know how to take accountability. Argue with a wall.
You've spent this whole fucking video avoiding accountability like you owe it money. From the very first clip, you've been avoiding accountability for your own opinions.
I watched the replay. She died because she walked out of her ult. I watched it, it's clipped. But because we wanted to know how she died, and I guess she just took it as an attack, she threw the game. If women are gonna play video games, I'm not saying that they need to act like men, but they need to understand how men communicate. And if not, get the fuck back on Stardew Valley and Sims 4. I don't care.
I love how you say, if women are gonna play video games, as if you have any fucking jurisdiction about whether or not women have a right to play video games in the first place. That isn't some privilege you can just take away from other people. And to say you were acting like a man is honestly an insult to all men. People pretty quickly found the match ID and clips of this whole interaction. As it turns out, that girl was the only healer on his team, and the second she makes a mistake, he starts to imply she's cost them the match.
Oh, we just threw.
I would have faith to get out, bro.
How did my Cloak and Dagger die? How?
They
had
focused
Someone's
me
gotta
and
guard the
that
galaxy.
just pushed me out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. We had that one.
You're looking at him.
I mean, if we wanted to bitch when I've been getting bullied the entire time.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say
Your
anything.
name is Popstar, right? Question. Sorry, I forgot. My bad. That's on me. That's my fault. I forgot that you're a woman. I need to talk to you like you're a fucking child.
Oh,
That's my
and
fault.
now I'm really gonna throw
You're a sensitive motherfucker who doesn't know how to
you
take
guys wanna be
criticism.
weird?
Congratulations. You're acting just how I'd expect a woman to
Wow.
act. GG's. Hope you don't get a woman in your next games. Remember, talk to them like they're children. Otherwise, they throw temper tantrums.
This situation immediately went viral, and within a few days, everybody within the Marvel Rivals community had heard something about it. And when I say everybody, I'm not exaggerating. Not only did you have some of the biggest content creators from the community giving their input and reviewing gameplay footage, but even the voice actor for Blade's character himself made a video mocking Capone.
Somebody always trying to ice skate uphill.
Now that must have been pretty painful considering Capone is a failed voice actor. And the reason we all know that video was directed at him is because his name was in the hashtags. And you know, as if that wasn't already embarrassing as hell, like we didn't already have enough reason to hate this guy, they found his match history, and as it turns out, he is a massive hypocrite with an even bigger skill issue. He can hardly ever win a game, and when you look at the footage, it's pretty obvious why. He's been throwing the exact same thing he's accusing women of doing. Come to find out, he's actually thrown multiple matches in a row. So people started to wonder, what's the difference between a man throwing the match and a woman throwing the match? Why is one totally okay, but the other is ruining the gaming experience? Instead of admitting he was wrong and walking back on his statements, Capone decided he was going to double down. So he tried arguing his way out of taking accountability again. He posted a video in in response to the argument that men throw more matches than women. And he actually admits that's totally true. But he also insisted he isn't wrong because women have a different way of throwing.
So a lot of people were upset with my last video where I said that women are ruining video games. And before I start off, I just want to say I will be doubling down. I apologize for absolutely nothing. Now let's get back into it. Now, if you watched my last video and your takeaway was anything along the lines of, oh, but men throw games too, congratulations, you've got the intellect of an acorn. You are the real life example of I like waffles. Oh, so you hate pancakes? You're an idiot.
What the fuck are you talking about? Your whole argument hinged on women are sensitive and they throw matches, which is ruining your experience playing video games. So if it turns out that men throw matches just as often as women, then women really can't be held responsible for your bad experiences. At that point, it's not a gender issue, it's an issue with the entire gaming community. So now you have to make the argument that it's okay when men do it. Really interested to see how this turns out for you.
Now, I absolutely agree. Men throw more games. Well, I half agree. Men hard throw more games. I think the woman in the video that I'm particularly talking about, where she literally went Adam Warlock, AFK'd, and was jumping off the map, I will say that is a rare circumstance for women. Women typically do not hard throw games. The perpetrators of those who hard throw games are, yes, it's mainly men. Now, what I will say that women do more often is women soft throw games far more often. What's the difference? Hard throw is when you're AFK, you're jumping off the map, you're running around in circles. That's hard throwing. Me, you, Jesus Christ, we can all look at that footage and say, yeah, that guy's throwing the game. Now, what is soft throwing? Soft throwing is, rather, let me give you an example. I, as a tank player, insult my support for not healing me properly. This support player takes it upon themselves to no longer heal me. They're just not gonna heal me because they got offended. That is a soft throw.
Okay, so hard throwing is when you decide to give up entirely and not contribute anything to your team for the rest of the match. And soft throwing is when you don't give up, you contribute to the rest of your team, but you don't heal the person who insults you. It's a little odd to me that you're just creating these weird distinctions between different types of throwing. I've been playing video games for like 15 years, and I've never heard anybody talk about hard throwing and soft throwing. I'm curious if this has ever been mentioned before anywhere, or if he just made it up. But yeah, sure, let's just go with it. Soft throwing sounds more like a way of setting a boundary, that if you're going to treat me like shit, I'm not going to help you play the game. Yeah, I guess that's considered a type of throwing. I still don't know how you came up with the statistic that women do it more, though. And how is that any worse than hard throwing? If I am playing a game and two of my teammates start bickering at each other, I would much rather one of them just decide they aren't going to heal that other person than start jumping off the map and doing nothing. So what I'm hearing is that women are actually much more reasonable. You just don't like quote-unquote soft throwers because you're probably the one who isn't getting healed.
Soft throwing is when you will no longer participate in a certain aspect of the game in reference to one of your teammates.
Hold on, you're making up these words and those are the best definitions you could come up with? I feel like I gave a way more cohesive definition of these terms than you did. Imagine making an argument so fucking bad that you have to make up words and it still doesn't work. I mean, just the term hard throwing sounds way worse than soft throwing.
For whatever reason, it doesn't really matter, but that is soft throwing. I know every single person who has seen an hour of Marvel Rivals content has seen at least one video or one comment, at least one, of a woman literally doing what I just explained to you. Somebody insulted them, so they decided they were no longer going to heal them. That is soft throwing a game. That is throwing a game. And again, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. If your main takeaway from my last video had anything to do with the way that men behave in particular when it comes to gaming and throwing or whatever, you're an idiot. Just need to make sure that we're clear on that.
Oh, good one. Where'd you learn it? The playground? Your entire argument, by the way, was about women, how women act on video games, how women throw matches, how women are the worst thing to happen to gaming as a hobby. But you're gonna act all offended when people bring up how men behave on video games and the toxic environment that men have contributed to. Obviously, I don't think all men are bad for the gaming industry, but I do think men like this have a nasty habit of treating gaming spaces spaces like they're places where men can say and do whatever they want. There's a reason this guy grew up the way he did and now thinks it's okay to act this way. It's something he saw playing video games over and over again as a kid. Now he's been conditioned to think this is normal, and honestly, I feel really bad for him. Wait, actually, I just lied straight to your face. I don't feel bad for him at all. You have to be especially stupid to let yourself get to this point. I mean, I don't know, what are the chances that someone who's this far down the rabbit hole can pull themselves out? It seems pretty goddamn slim to me. And it's interesting to me that he's trying so hard to prove women are the problem with modern video games, when in reality it's people like him. People who act like they own gaming spaces and gaming communities, and use online games to let out their aggressions against women. I could sit here and pick apart his gameplay because he is a pretty shit player, but honestly, there's nothing that I can say that hasn't already been said. The big point of contention here was his argument, so I wanted to focus on everything he said before I actually addressed his gameplay. It's pretty obvious he was trying to cater toward a certain demographic with this video, and he may not have found it yet, but he will in the future. So yeah, the next time we hear about Capone VO will probably be when he starts a Manosphere podcast. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video and you would like to see more in the future, please consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to the channel. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!